जी।
Namaskar, Sarni. We will just give a minute or so for attendees to join, and then we can get started. So, Siddhi, were you able to put it on the public page? All good. Okay.
Yes, I think Romit hasn't been brought up to panelist yet. And also Meenakshi auntie, I don't see her here, like board members.
Okay. If there are any board members or panelists, you can raise your hands if you're in the attendees, and we will. Okay. I can see Meenakshi is there. Yeah, Amiji, let's start in 1 minute.
Recording to शायद already on.
Recording to on, yes.
And Uparji, I will share my screen for a moment. Uparji, can you see my screen?
Yes, Amiji. Let's get started.
Okay. Namaskar, Sarni. Yeli yaad pyavan sonhar watan. Hani chum layan tir matyo. Han amit es girdabas mans. Kamishapan kares gir matyo. Gav sur laren ulev tehro vod. As khutmut kus taksir matyo. As yarbalan as vyat puzan. Wande likhit as Kashmir matyo. Vanwas to zetan majburas. Danj rozan chankan sir matyo. January kunu shat number. Ichu aksu dukhad do. Tusakruhin raat. Yamdo is rato raat. Ay chakram. Nanwari tanatnani. Supur makan patwatis 4 foot kis tentas mans. Achi yaad az karan panyan materan, panyan amar shahidan. Yumo panun balidan diot. Tuhun taksir os kunui kitimoto panun darmuk panya watanuk jand hava khadas hamish. इसके पन्ने से वतनस मज जलाए वतन वहां गई 35 वरी अस प्रारान वन तो न्याय खतर प्रारान वन तो सोचान कि अस मा मिले न्याय मगर वनुक तान वुचन अस कहें तन कतिल वन तो खुले आम नचान कशीर यह न गोनुक निष्कासन अम ब्रोट 6 लट बे यह निष्कासन गोमुत यह सतम निष्कासन यह 1999 मज गो तो प्रत हत वहर इस्लामी जहादो थ्रो यह निष्कासन गोमुत सल्यूट करान पन्न जिठन पन्न बुजुर्गन पन्न पेरेंटन यमो 1999 सह क्रुहन दौर वुच यमो तथ दौरस लोड तो वापस कोर तिमो पनुन पान पन्ने फैमिली करक वापस खड़ा वापस करक री-एस्टैब्लिश सैक्रिफाइस दुत तो पन्न शुरन दिक माँ शारदा सुन सुई अवजार सो इलम तो सुई पर्नुक अवजार युस तिमन संस्कार सास बद वरियो पे म्यूलमुत सुई अवजार दितुक पन्न शुरन यम से तिम गई पन्न कोठन पे खड़ा हेको हूरित पंडित अमरनाथ वैष्णवी सबस बाला साहब ठाकरे यमो तथ दौरस मज तथ कृन दौरस मज साने समाज मदद कर तो वार 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 हित पन्न कोठन पे खड़ा ग बुछुस शुक्रिया अदा करान सनिस यंग एंड डायनामिक न्यूली इलेक्टेड प्रेसिडेंट उपार कोत्रु साहब सुंद यम आजुक दोह कोर स्पेशली चूज कनेक्ट करने खतर पन्ने ब्रॉडर ऑडियंस पन्न मेंबरशिप तिमन खतर ताकि मशराव न जनवरी 19 तो ना दिमो मशन तो तिमो कोर डेट सिलेक्ट तिमो दोप करो अजकी पे करो शुरुआत पन्निस मेंबरशिप से कनेक्ट गसनुक तो अजुक युस वेबिनार यह 90 मिनटन मज कोरमुत तकसीम 2 सेगमेंटन मज गोनुक सेगमेंट पूर पे डेडिकेट करान जनवरी 19 सन अमर शहीद तो सन पेरेंट सन जिठ यम तम क्रोन दौर मज द्राय तो दोमिस सेगमेंटस मज करो पन क्वार्टरली अपडेट अमूमन वरियस मज अक लटि अपडेट दिवान मगर उपार्जन तो बोर्डस बह थैंक यू करान तिमो दोप नसा करो यह वरियस मज 4 लट सानि मेंबरशिप गस ननुन कि क्या करान हर 3 रेत दिमो पन प्रोग्रेस रिपोर्ट तो नेक्स्ट 45 गोनिक 45 मिनट करो पन्निस नमन पन्न शहीदन तो नेक्स्ट 45 मिनट क्वार्टरली अपडेट तो कंस अगर कह सवाल पृछुन कह फीडबैक बहुत सारे रिक्वेस्ट करान युथु यह सेशन गस खत्म तो हेक्यो चैटस मज पन सवाल थवित तो करो तिम एड्रेस बिफोर बह करे हैंड ओवर सनिस नेक्स्ट स्पीकरस अंशु जी यम म्यूजिकल ट्रिब्यूट प्रिपेयर कोरमुत सान अमर शहीदन खतर बह वन अकै कत असी तो असी आसो नमस्कार।
Namaskar. It's a sober day today. First of all, I would like to say Sadar Pranam to all our martyrs. Then Patkar to start by a musical tribute to songs which pick Kalmit, which perfectly express the emotions of every one of us who have been forced into exile. Godnich your presentation by Sri Agni Shekhar ji and then Pachu a song Alav. ऐसे चतुर कश्मीर हो ऐसे चतुर कश्मीर आज बगा सुलिसी आज बगा सुलिसी ऐसे चतुर कश्मीर ऐसे चतुर this comes from heart of every one of us displaced. माझी जिगरीची दगलच राव ऐसे कर आलो गरगच हो माझी जिगरीची दगलच राव ऐसे कर आलो गरगच हो चैन सुनावस तनी मुचराव ऐसे कर आलो गरगच हो माझी जिगरीच दगलच राव ऐसे कर आलो गरगच हो बड़ दोह कर हो विकवट सारी हाव बावर सरपान बड़ दोह कर हो विकवट सारी हाव बावर सरपान असना गिंदना पान बंधाव ऐस कर आलो गरगच हो माझी जिगरीच दगलच राव ऐस कर आलो गरगच हो जानिस नावस पेठस शेदा मौज कशीरी वंदी जान जानिस नावस पेठस शेदा मौज कशीरी वंदी जान जानिस नावस पेठस शेदा मौज कशीरी वंदी जान कतिस कालस दूर धावो ऐस कर आलो गरगच हो माझी जिगरीच दगलच राव ऐस कर आलो गरगच हो. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anshuji. Namaskar, Saini. I will share my screen first of all, and let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, Upadji, we can see your screen.
Got it. So Amitji briefly touched upon the agenda, the two segments that we will be covering. First is the Exodus Day, and then we will be focusing on the membership update. First of all, thank you so much for being here with us today as we commemorate the 35th anniversary of Exodus Day. As I reflect on the significance of this day, my thoughts turn to the memories that bring both sorrow and strength. I vividly recall the Antim Yatra of Sri Tikalal Tepluji, whose tragic loss marked the beginning of so much heartache for our community. His death was followed by countless loss of cherished members of her community. But as I think about the events of 1989 and early 90s, I'm also reminded of the centuries of adversity our community has faced, enduring hardships that have shaped our history in Kashmir. Our past is filled with stories of sacrifice and martyrdom, not just within our community, but from brave souls across India who fought to protect the land and people of Kashmir. 700 years ago, Kota Rani, the last Hindu queen of Kashmir, and her two sons gave their lives as Shamir, the first Muslim ruler, rose to power. Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, who selflessly offered his life to protect the Kashmiri Pandits under the oppressive rule of Aurangzeb, was martyred by beheading at Shishganj Sahib Gurdwara. His three beloved followers, by Mati Das, by Sati Das, by Dayala, endured horrific executions before their guru. Pandit Kripa Ramji, who led the Kashmiri Pandit delegation to meet Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, sacrificed his life in the Battle of Chamkaur while fighting against the Mughals. 13 out of 21 Paramveer Chakras have been awarded for brave soldiers who fought in the land of Jammu and Kashmir, and many of them posthumously. Major Somnath Sharma, the recipient of first Paramveer Chakra, lost his life defending Srinagar airport against Pakistani infiltrators in 1947. In war spanning 1947 to 99, heroes like Jadunath Singh, Rama Raghoba Rane, Piru Singh, Karam Singh, Dhan Singh Thapa, Shaitan Singh, Nirmaljit Singh Sekho, Manna Singh, and our Kargil war heroes, Manoj Kumar Pandey, Yogendra Singh Yadav, Sanjay Kumar, Vikram Patra, all gave their life to protect our land. We owe so much to these brave souls whose sacrifices endured our survival as a community, as a people. Despite the sadness and disappointment that fills me, there is also a profound pride in how we have risen time and again against all odds. The journey of our community is one of resilience, strength, and unwavering spirit. Our resilience is reflected not only in surviving difficult times, but in the lives, careers, and families we have built while never forgetting our roots. The younger generation carry forward the lessons of past and are shaping the future full of promise. They're excelling across various fields, contributing to society in meaningful ways, and ensuring that our legacy lives on. Our community spirit of hope, transformation, and perseverance remains alive in the achievements we celebrate today and the ways in which we continue to give back. So as we gather today, we not only remember the sacrifices of the past, but also honor the strength that has carried us through and the future we continue to hold. The quote was shared with me by somebody, which sort of perfectly encapsulates our spirit. They tried to bury us, but they didn't know we were seeds. We are those seeds of hope, resilience, and courage. And no matter what challenges lie ahead, we'll continue to grow, thrive, and flourish. Thank you. So as we move to the next segment,
Harmful, real quick, can you unpin Anshuji, please? I don't think folks can see you.
okay. Is Anshuji still shown as a spotlight or no?
Yeah, she's still spotlight.
Okay, she is not on the spotlight actually. Maybe let me.
She has been pinned. I don't think that's the same as spotlight.
Correct.
So maybe it's a pin for you, Siddhi.
No, it's pinned for the whole
It's
webinar.
somehow spotlight is not showing up, Upaji. You were sharing earlier, then at that time it did take it out.
Yeah, maybe Anshu can drop and join back again. Someone must have pinned her. So if Anshuji, you're listening, you can maybe exit and join back again. Thanks.
Yeah, that fixed it. Oh, again.
Is she unpinned now or no?
But she's back pinned.
Okay. Some technical challenges have to be there.
But now it seems to be okay.
Yeah, it's fine now.
Are we doing okay?
Yeah.
Okay. As we move to the next segment, which is each zonal director sort of providing their introductions and also sort of giving their perspective of what Exodus Day mean to you. But before we hand it off to the zonal directors, I would like to do a quick poll with the audience here. Let me see if, yeah. I just launched a poll. If you can take a brief moment to express yourself, that'll be great. I'll leave the poll open for another 30 seconds. Yeah, I'll read some of the feedback that we got here. Great loss. It is sad, but also reminds us of resilience of our race and motivation to keep the race alive and thriving. Loss of identity as a Kashmiri, remembering the Exodus Day, least we forget. A historic moment never to be forgotten, something to be understood as we move forward as a community. I'm not able to figure out the names because of the email addresses. Islamic terrorists terrorizing us out of the home of centuries. Very, very relevant thoughts, and thank you so much for participating here. Moving on, so I would request Virinder Agchi to come off on camera and unmute yourself, please.
I think I'm on Uparji, right?
Yes, Virinderji.
Okay. Namaskar, Sarni. My name is Virinder Haq. I'm the new zonal director for KOA Zone 1, which includes New York and Connecticut. And today we meet on the solemn occasion of 35th anniversary of Exodus Day. We have been asked to speak for a few minutes about what Exodus Day means to me. Hard to summarize in a few minutes, but I'll try to do my best. For me, Exodus Day is a day of remembrance and reflection. To me, the remembrance goes back not only 35 years, but almost 7 centuries of persecution, suffering, and trauma that our community has faced. It's a day to remember and honor lives lost and sacrifices made. It's a day to remember when not only our lives, but our dignity and honor were attacked. It's a day to remember when our culture, our traditions, our ways of life, and our shared values were attacked. It's a day to remember the strength, the courage, and the resilience our community showed in the aftermath of these events of this dark day in our history. And last but not the least, it's a day to remember when our fears, our vulnerabilities, and our fallacies were exposed. As I said before, it's also a day to reflect. 35 years have passed since. When I look back and see what has unfolded over all these years, I can safely say that we should be proud of our community. We have survived. Not only have we survived the catastrophic events of that fateful day, we have survived 7 centuries of persecution and trauma. Not only have we survived, We have managed to carry our roots, our culture, our traditions, and our shared values. Now, the bigger question to ask on this day is, how long will this last? And how are we going to save it? For those answers, I think we have to look within ourselves to find the answers. But I'll tell you this, KOA, Kashmiri Overseas Association, and many organizations like it throughout the world are working tirelessly towards this pursuit, and we should all support them in a way, whatever we can. Namaskar and thank you.
Thank you, Virendra ji. Sunita ji.
Thank you very much. Namaskar. I am Sunita Kanisasan, and I am the Zone 2 Director, which includes Massachusetts and New England area. Exodus Day is a reminder to me of all the pain and loss that so many in our family and in the community suffered. It is a reminder of many lives lost, and many people lost everything and had to start all over. It also is a reminder of the resilience of the Kashmiri community that has come back from those dark days. It's a remembrance of people who lost their lives and those who remain in refugee camps in Jammu. While I did not personally go through that harrowing experience, I do feel the loss of much of our heritage and traditions in leaving the valley. I have wonderful childhood memories of spending time with family at my grandparents' homes in Sattu Barbar Shah, in Chanpura, visiting relatives in Karanagar and Safakadal. I remember trips to Tulmu and Parbat and family trips to Gulmarg, Dal Lake, Nehru Park, having picnics and kahwa and Nishat Bagh. The beauty of the valley is breathtaking, and you are always surrounded by majestic mountains and rivers. It is a scenery and a culture that is hard to replicate anywhere, much as we may try outside the valley, because unfortunately, all our family and friends are now scattered. There is this sense of loss I feel on Exodus Day, and yet I also feel hope that we have the ingenuity, the will, and the resources to try to carry on our traditions, encouraged by organizations such as KOA, so we can pass on our traditions to the next generation. It will not be the same, but we are a resilient community. Thank you.
Thank you, Sunita ji. Prerna ji.
Namaskar, everyone. I'm Prerna Tikku Srivastava, Director Zone 3, which is New Jersey and Pennsylvania. For me, yeah, I also haven't had the first-hand experience of Exodus. We were in Jammu at that time, so was not there during those dreadful days and nights. But I saw the aftermath because we were in Jammu, most of our family who fled and didn't have anywhere to go. So our house was the first stop. And I still remember one room where 6 to 7 families' belongings just fit in like one small room, and that's what they came with. And every morning I remember them going out looking for rental places to live. Where will they go? And coming back disappointed in the evenings. I know my relatives who would have plush carpets in their homes and were sleeping on chatais in Jammu and Delhi. Our school bus used to pass through the Roopnagar camp, and somehow those memories, I just can't shake them away. In the afternoon, whenever we were returning from the bus, I would see all the people outside those tents sitting in that heat in summer, and that image just doesn't go away. And that's 35 years ago, and it's still fresh in my mind. But as a community, I see we have come a long way in these years and built ourselves are in a place today where we can give back to the people who were not fortunate enough and are still in the camps and don't have means of income. And that was my major motivation to get attached to KOA fulfilling my responsibilities, it's my time to give back to the community. And I see that there is so many programs that we are running right now, and I would urge everyone to support these programs and organizations so that we could give back to the community and not forget what we have been through as a community, and the trauma and the pain that we have seen. Namaskar.
Thank you, Prerna ji. Meenakshi ji.
Namaskar, Sarni. My name is Meenakshi Kak, and I am from Zone 4, which consists of Virginia, Maryland, DC, and West Virginia. So as you may see that my voice is already kind of like, just by hearing my friends, I'm already like at that emotional, because this day reminds me of that pain, which I directly did not bear because I was, we lived in Jammu already before that. But like Prerna mentioned, our home became that one central point, because for all our relatives, we were the only ones, who could open our arms and let them in. And like Amit was saying, like from 4 to 5 story homes to these tents, we have witnessed it because we were first group of volunteers, which we could contribute a little bit for them. But when somebody asked me, what does this day means to me? It means like, I still remember, because I was so young, I still remember how I almost collapsed to see my Mami ji collapse in front of our house, because she was 9 months pregnant and she had to leave in the middle of the night and in a truck, which any women can see that in 9 months you cannot even, you dread that situation. And the minute she reached our doorsteps, she called on my mom and said like 30, and she collapsed right in front of our stairs. And that day, I was young, and I kind of told myself, in this life, if I could do anything for my community, I will definitely be the first one to come in front and do whatever little contribution. But coming back to our my bigger thing, what I would do for 19th Jan, I think what we should how we should remember is like unite to make this day globally known, like show our collaboration and show up, say, we live in DC area, we have been to representing KOA and telling our story again and again and again. I think we should come collectively in front of, say, embassy, or do something where we can show our strength and show that we exist and how resilient we are. We have fought all the odds, and our bring it together. So for me, I would personally request, let's take this day and make it global, and let our story never be forgotten. So and let's do the good work we all are doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Meenakshi. Anjana ji.
Namaskar, everyone. My name is Anjana Kaul, and I'm the director for Zone 5, which includes Arkansas, Colorado, Kansas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Texas, and Utah. Exodus Day is a haunting chapter of my life, one I didn't live through firsthand, but carry with every fiber of my being. I remember how I first learned of my family's and community's exodus. It was May of 1990, months after they had fled. I was in Bombay, having just started college, blissfully unaware of the nightmare unfolding back home. My parents, in their love and protectiveness, shielded me from the truth in our weekly phone calls. There were no cell phones, no breaking news to reveal the horrors they faced. I learned the story from my younger sister. She described the night of terror, announcements bearing from the mosques, threats woven into the air. She spoke of the ladder propped against a wall of our home leading to the neighboring B.Ed college, where the girls were told to hide if the gate fell to the mobs. I imagined the fear gripping my family as they packed their car in the dark, carrying only a few essentials and an unthinkable weight of uncertainty, leaving behind not just a house, but generations of memories, prayers, and roots. When I heard it all, I was horrified and angry. Angry at my parents for protecting me, for keeping me in the dark. Deep down, I knew they had no choice, that I couldn't have done anything to change their fate. But that anger, misplaced as it was, became my way of processing the helplessness, grief, and guilt of being spared the trauma they endured. Kashmiri Exodus Day is deeply personal to me because it's not just history, it's the pulse of my family's pain, my community's loss, and our collective resilience. It reminds me of homes left desolate, temples silenced, and the vibrant culture displaced overnight. But it's also a day to honor the bravery of those who endured and the strength it takes to keep our identity alive. For me, it's a call to remember, to reflect, and to dream of a day when we reclaim not just the land we lost, but the sense of belonging stolen from us. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, Anjana ji. Ravi ji?
Hello, namaskar. I'm Ravi Raina, Director Zone 6. Zone 6 is a fairly large zone. North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Missouri, Tennessee. I think I covered all of them. I want to thank Upaji for creating this new tradition and starting it on this day particularly. I think the need of the hour is to gather a community and move from, like when the exodus happened, the losses were at a personal level, at a familial level, at a societal level, and at a cultural level. We lost our culture, we lost our homeland. And the immediate need of the hour was to help our families, our community, and provide sustenance resources to people in the camps. And now 35 years have passed. While we need to continue doing that part, we need to focus more on preserving our culture and leaving a hope for our upcoming generations to reclaim our culture at some point in the future. So I think this is a very welcome step to kind of put a stake in the ground and say, we will take this Exodus Day, and like the Jews always talk, for 2,000 years, they talked about next year in Jerusalem. 2,000 years, every Jewish household had this mantra. And after 2,000 years, they did claim their land back. So I think Kashmiris could learn from that and create a tradition where we make it an objective of our entire community that someday we will go back to our homeland. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you, Ravi ji. Urvashi ji?
Namaskar, Sarni. I'm Urvashi Kao. I'm Zonal Director for Zone 7 Midwest. And to me, Exodus Day means emotional exit ever. The exit that still has no entry. A day to remember the loss of our homeland for no fault of ours. A day to remember the loss of our dear ones, dear community members. A day we were labeled as migrants. It marked a turning point in our lives. That label of being a migrant, it took away so many opportunities from us, wherever we went. Because that name itself like scared people. Oh, they are migrants. They are going to take away, rights. I still remember being in med school, no matter how well I did in my exams, whether it was oral, whether it was like, written exams, I would never be on the top of the list, no matter what. So that was because we were migrants and we had come to Jammu Medical, College. We were like kind of treated as extras. But still, sorry, I'm getting a little emotional. But yet, as a community, we have come a long way, and the resilience we have demonstrated is truly, truly remarkable. At the same time, I take so much pride in our community for striving to preserve our culture even after 35 years and fostering unity among us. Namaskar.
Thank you, Urvashi ji. Shivaji ji?
Namaskar. My name is Shwazdar. I was born and brought up in Srinagar, Kashmir, and since last 9 years, I have been living in Michigan. I serve as director for KOA Zone 8, which is Ohio, Michigan, Kentucky, and Indiana. What Exodus Day means for me is it's like a wound that may have healed, but the scar will remain forever. And it will be a reminder for our suffering and our resilience. It's the darkest night that I have witnessed with my parents, and it's cemented in my heart. But I keep on reminding two things to me, to myself, to my community. Two magic words: we survived. We survived with dignity and pride. As we gather here to commemorate 35th Exodus year of the community, there are few hard-pressing questions that linger in my mind always. One, have we served justice to our martyrs who were persecuted for their faith? Have we done enough to preserve our culture, language, heritage for our future generations? Have we done enough to make the truth clear and destroy the false narrative for our genocide? I think with this day, the journey has just begun, and we need to do much more to turn the wheels of justice. So, as Upahar has already started it on January 19th, let's take a pledge on this particular day that we'll stand in solidarity with our community and serve our motherland the ways Jews served and showed the resilience. Let's involve, unite, ensuring that our collective efforts serve the same goal. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, Shivaji. Anil Harsha ji?
Namaskar, Mara. Michwana Anil Harsha. I am newly minted Zone 9 Director. Zone 9 is Mara Chiwan, Washington, Oregon, and also Northern California. So, as I reflect, right, this day is full of pain and emotion, and I kind of agree with all the sentiments there because I have been personally through this, like all of you. But I'm going to talk something different today. I'm going to talk about use of comedy, use of satire, use of our own language to navigate the pain we went through this brutal exodus process. So I will recount the 3 stories. These are all personal stories to me, before the exodus and after the exodus. So we had a big house, like as many of you said, right? We had a lot of uncles and other stuff. And there was one uncle, Mrs. Mara Kaur, she was like a college going girl. And my dad was very anxious. He was always going to him, Mrs. Kakaji, when I'm his dad, say, "Yaar, post at least course was on to job. It shouldn't safe." And he didn't have anybody relative in Jammu as such. So he would always kind of pause and smile back and say, "Hey, Vanchan Yaden Bhagwan Sun Sag." So in other words, God will take care of it. Eventually, everything settled down fine with him and for every one of us. Padmanavati migration guy, right? The people were used to big homes and all that stuff. Jomga overcrowded. I taste when kirai milan makan, right? I tomorrow my uncle cousin mama ji so Pyare Lal. Pyare Lal ji, he was trying to find kirai to But eventually he got a kirai makan. So by Nuki, Yamara mule, my dad said, Mubarak shu. So, and then my dad said, Kyushu kamra. So Mara nakwe so much. So in other words, that room I could imagine was full of, there was no ventilation. It was probably humid, but even he felt that at least he got something. So that kind of cheer, even in that circumstances, using humor to kind of navigate is amazing, and kind of tribute to our community, because I think we have used humor in the past to kind of navigate these challenges, and our last names, actually, a lot of them have humorous origins. And whenever I look at the closet of my house right now, I'm always reminded, because I know in this closet, there were a lot of folks who would basically be sitting and kind of doing their day-to-day chores in that closet of a house. The last one is like, as I moved to Jammu, I used to live with Masi, and they were like 4 kids studying in one room, and I hated it. It was hot, it was humid, it was monsoon, and Atmara is Rosa Janipur, old Janipur. Atmara is Sadaka, it's gone Gasante, but the path sure Khazai. It was very aesthetically bad design. And I asked my Mosaji, kya chute hai Sadak Janipur? The born was up at Pure Khasan. And he laughed and he said, and he also hated Jammu. So he was like, hey, Braga to tache haj. Braga to tache haj. And the answer was, Natya osum syod. So that's kind of my memories around migration, using humor, being jovial, trying to find better, positive looking approach to life. That's kind of my memories around it. Thank you.
Thank you, Anilji. Thank you so much. Ajay ji.
Namaskar Mara Saharni. I'm Ajay Gariali, Bishus Mara Director Zone 10 that covers Los Angeles, Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada area. I echo the same what my fellow directors have already spoken, honestly speaking, and their president Upharji. But what 19th of January means to me is it reminds me of pain of our community endured. Homes and temples left behind, the traditions disrupted. But it also reminds me of our resilience. Despite the loss, we have kept our culture alive, our values strong, and our hopes intact. To me, this day isn't just about remembering the past, it's about staying united in present. It's a call to stand together as a community, to support one another, and to ensure that our identity is never lost, no matter where we are in the world. So as we observe this day, I feel deep sense of responsibility, not just to honor the struggles of those who came before us, but to carry forward their legacy with pride, hope, and unwavering solidarity. Having said that, as KOA, as an organization, we have so many programs that you'll hear from our program directors here forth. I feel like we have a lot more to do. So my request to all of us is come together and support the organization and our community to make it vibrant, cohesive, whichever way we can support our community. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, Ajay ji. And to conclude the segment, I request Siddhi, our Dynamic Youth Director.
Thank you, Paranko, and thank you to all these zonal directors who just spoke. Your guys' stories are never to be forgotten, including our entire community and what happened to us during this time period. I feel like what I want to say has already been spoken, but as a youth director and as someone who leads an organization who is trying to do everything you guys have said, to me, and I feel like for folks who have grown up in this generation, January 19th is a day of deep reflection and remembrance. It's a reminder of the day our ancestral lands were uprooted and our community was torn from its homeland. Born into a generation that has only known exile, I, along with the youth of our community, carry the stories of loss, resilience, and survival passed down by our families. who fled amidst unimaginable fear. As someone born in this day and age, this day is not just about mourning what was lost, but also about recognizing our responsibility as the future of a community. Sorry, I'm cracking up, but it's a call for youth to use our voices and platforms to ensure that the pain and injustices of the past are never forgotten, and that our heritage, identity, and truth are never silenced again. I'm so sorry. But when we are together, we stand as a testament to the resilience of our people, determined to preserve and protect the legacy of our homeland. And I know everyone has said resilience, and resilience has been in everybody's statement today. But for a community like ours, resilience is the unwavering spirit to hold our identity, culture, and values. It's about honoring the past while forging a hopeful future, standing tall in the face of loss and never letting our voices or heritage fade away. So, if you are a youth member who has parents like ours, speak to them, know their past, know their history, and use your voices to share them, and never ever let anyone silence you, and use your platforms to share our voices.
Siddhi, I just want to give you a big hug, but you're too far as of now.
I am so sorry, but today, I don't know, for the past however many years, there's always a part in me that breaks, that our community had to go through all of that, and everyone was silenced. Just hurts that even today, people don't want to listen to us. And I'm just proud to be part of a community and organization who, despite whatever we went through, uses our voices and allows the youth to be part of this organization and take us to a different level. So thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah, I had to gather my words now. Thank you. Thank you so much, Siddhi. And I lost my track of thought. But thank you again, everybody, for sharing your profound experiences, perspectives. And Siddhi, you may want to show the word cloud. Let me flash it on the screen and talk about this initiative.
Yes. So, you guys can see this word cloud. So today on January 19th, as we do mark 35 years of exile, we reflect on the memories and emotions that tie us to our roots in Kashmir. And so the KWA Youth team, we asked our community, what is the one thing you miss the most about Kashmir? So as you can see, their responses cover the number 35. You can scan this QR code, it'll take you the image so you can zoom in and have it yourself to share. But their responses painted a very vivid picture of a homeland filled with daffodils, snow-capped mountains, shikara, meadows, and the warmth of Matamal. So the essence of home, the sense of the kids, the Bukhari, and the feeling of just being rooted remains irreplaceable. However, this day also serves as a somber reminder of the events of 1990 that forced the Kashmiri Pandit community into exile. Faced with targeted violence, threats, and atmosphere of fear, an entire community was uprooted from its ancestral land. Overnight, homes were abandoned, temples fell silent, and a vibrant culture was displaced. What followed was a struggle for survival, a longing for justice, and an unwavering determination to keep our heritage alive. The youth today strives to never forget the pain of the past, even as we hold tightly to the hope of a brighter future. Today, we honor the resilience of our community and the memories of our homeland, which continues to live in our hearts.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Siddhi, again. And we're really proud of you. And, that this also reflects sort of a beacon of hope that somebody born and brought up in the United States feels so deeply with our ancestral homeland and the sufferings that, we as a community has faced. So I really feel proud of you and the younger generation who has connected in so many meaningful ways with the community cause. Awesome. So that is a wrap for the first segment, which was a commemoration for 35th Exodus Day. Switching gears here, I know we are tight on our time and we have a packed agenda, so I would request the following speakers to stick to the time slots that they have been provided. And this we are kicking off as a quarterly exercise, a quarterly membership update that we intend to provide membership with any key updates, any relevant community initiatives, or any programs or new initiatives, any opportunities that you can contribute to the various causes. We'll try to leverage this platform, this forum, going forward. With that, Siddhi, why don't you continue with the youth updates?
My face looks like this.
Now we need that smiling face, because see, the theme of this next segment is resilience and
Yes.
celebrating success. So let's switch gears now.
Absolutely. If you go to the next slide, okay, so our KWA Youth has a lot of initiatives, but our two main initiatives currently are our annual national trips. Our national youth trip is going to be in San Diego this year, Memorial Day weekend, May 23rd to May 26th. They are open to KP youth ages of 18 to 30. And going back to what I said, that a lot of our youth feels very connected when they get to meet in person. Social media is a very different aspect, but having a proper time or weekend designated to actually meeting all these youth, like we've grown from 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 last year, KP youth attending these youth trips. We are really hoping for at least 80 to 100 this year, because we've kind of gotten that interest. So if you have children in your households that are of ages 18 to 30, please tell them to follow KWA Youth on Instagram, as that is where we drop all of our registration information. We recently launched a KWA Youth membership, so if they become a member, they will get priority registration and also a discounted reg fee. So that is one thing. And the second one is our podcast, Everything Kosher. It is just a platform for us to speak to Kashmiris around the community who really uphold KWA's mission statement to preserve, protect, and promote the Kashmiri Pandit heritage, culture, language, food, everything you can think about, everything kosher, basically. And so our season finale, we had all of our directors in the past. We did Miss Roshni and Umeka. But it is one of my favorite episodes. Again, it was a very candid conversation. And I'm just, very blessed to have people before me like Amrita, Nisha, Rohit, Shubhankar, and currently working with Arushi to lead this organization, to be a voice for our youth and our community. And I'm really hoping that you guys take the time to listen to our podcast and our episodes, as every episode is very different. We've spoken to people across the world. We've spoken to Sandeep Pandit from MasterChef, Ashwini Bhaiya, Breadwala. We've spoken to a lot of different people. So I would love for you guys to check out our podcast. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and also YouTube as well.
Thank you, Siddhi. Okay, so this is another exciting update. So, Siddhi, you want to give a quick background, and do we have Romit here as well?
Yes, Romit is on if
Yes.
you spotlight him, but Zoo is a dating app or a web application, you can call it, that is finally going to be launched. It's been a work in progress for like the past 2-ish years, and I'm really, really happy that this is coming to life. On that sort of topic of, because being familiar with your community, Zoo, not only do we want it to serve as a dating app, but for people to kind of get used to chatting along with folks of your community, building those friendships, and also potentially taking it to a next step for relationships or shadi. And so Romit has built this platform, and I'll just hand it over to Romit for walking us through it.
Yeah, so thanks, Siddhi. Hi, everyone. So me, Siddhi, we have been working on this web app basically for dating, friendship purpose, and it's called Zoo. And it's finally built and it's currently in the deployment phase. And if you guys allow me, I can just show you a quick demo for that as well. I just want to share my screen right now. So, okay. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, so this is what it looks like. I have already separated into two different browsers. On the left and right, you see the sign up pages. So let's say I go ahead and sign up my profile. Let's say kosher. And then I click on submit. And then it will send me a confirmation on my personal email that, okay, you are signing up for this application. And if you want to confirm, okay, so now my credentials are confirmed. What I can do is I can go ahead and log in. So once I've logged in, I have the profile page wherein I can select my gender. So for now, let's say male, 26. It automatically detects your coordinates to get your location and then my sexual preference. So let's say for now I select female and then hi, my name is Kosher Bata and
Sorry,
I
Romit,
live.
if you are sharing something, we are just stuck on the first page. If I'm not sure if that's me, everyone else.
No, I think we are moving along with Romit. So
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so I can add a small bio as well, and I can have those tags. Let's say I like Keva, I like adventure. And then once I have this, I can set a profile picture as well. So for demo purpose, so now my profile is created. Over here, you will see my fame rating, all the details about me. Now let's switch on creating a female profile as well. And then I will be able to show you how the application actually works. So let's call this Patni and then so once I have done 1 second. Okay, so now I think I just have to confirm it. And then, okay, yeah, we are good to go. So once this is authenticated, I will select my gender and age, let's say 24. Right. Me and tags, let's say Keva, maybe skydiving. And then I can set a profile picture. Okay, so now at this stage, basically my profile is set and everything is good. What next we can do is I can go to this Techni section where I can see all the potential matches for my profile that I have. And similarly, so on the left side, you see is the male profile. On the right side, it's the female profile. And let's focus on the right one now. So we have kosher Butney here. So we have this option of showing whether this user is online or not, which is denoted by this green button. And based on the profile, we have this functionality where we can like that particular user's profile picture. We can know about what are that person's interests or not, where does she live, he or she lives. So let's say the way it works is that, let's say I on my profile see someone's profile which I want to like or I'm interested in, I can like that particular user. So now on the right side, you see on the notification, it says that you have been liked by this user. And when someone likes my profile, I can go to that person's profile and I can choose whether I want to give that person a like back or not. And once I like that person's profile back, which is this guy, and then now it will show me that this person, we are connected with this person. And now once we are connected with this person, there is an additional functionality that gets enabled, which is I can chat with that person. So let's say I write to that person, hey, what up? So now in the other profiles person's profile, you will see that you have gotten a message from that person, and you see how this works in real time, that you can have a live chat with that particular person, and it also tries to give you a functionality of kind of restricting to who you want to connect with and not getting random messages from anyone. So this was a short intro about how this whole thing works.
This is fantastic, Romit and Siddhi. You know, this amazing job done, and I'm just giving a heads up that watch out for some communication pretty soon. We are in the process of deployment, as Romit was saying. In a matter of next few weeks, this should be live. And if anybody wants to get involved, volunteering to enhance or add more features to the application, feel free to reach out to Romit, Siddhi, or myself.
So for those parents who have been tensed, no need to fear. Zoo is here.
Zoo is here. Is this open to parents too, by the way?
No, absolutely not. Eight. I feel, Romit, is there an age limit? You have to be 18 to is there?
You have to be at least 18, but the upper bound we haven't set yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. This is super exciting. We're really looking forward to have it launched and start gathering some initial user feedback and to continue to improve the application. Okay, so moving on to the program segment, do we have Vinodji to get us started with the family sustenance program? Let me share my screen again.
Namaskar, Mara, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, Vinodji, we can hear you. Give me a second. I am just getting to the slide deck and okay, let me put you on the spotlight. Give me a second. Yes, Vinodji, you can get started.
Namaskar, Sarni. Member of Vinod Moza, City, California, Rozan. Sarni, Yathan, Never You Mubarak. Sarni, Nobody, Ruth Rosen, Sarni, Sehet Rosen, Chief Bird. Asios Kurmut Shuru, KON 2021 month's Family Sustenance Program. It can Sarni Patach. Although yet majority is an community members manansi, we are fortunate. Magar there sasabid families in India's manch khaskar community yosan campan manch rozan timan mara chubinti varia mushkilat varia badhali hin condition. So community yosan patman pastra vario pether Yiman su chance mule yusan bakin as mule. Yimzan continue shikaran struggle taiti. Yusan majority chitaitis sirif relief spot rozan. Ishakav samjit shayad si tihun health, tihun psychological makeup cash winkenas. Yimanzan shuri taiti timan halatan maz bade. The yimavzan pura panin age maz, panya wumri maz sirif puch badhali the bekasi. Timan families and khatre os ye asi shuru kurmut family sustenance program. Yatmanzan is wichan kit kan hekau panni taraf ke financial assistance provide karit human families and yatsan kashir parchvanan athrot karun. Mechupasan to kariyo message bilkul agrees certain family certain community हमेशा पन्नी यस्तच पन्नी डिग्निटी हंस कचा माइंडफुल तो तिमन खतर कंस ब्रोट कन अथ दारुन मुश्किल यह बिल्कुल सिचुएशन तिमन यथ मजन तिहंज आखरी उम्मीद तिमन फैमिलीजन यम प्रोग्राम के थ्रू हेल्प करने कोशिश करान पतमो 3 वरियो पे कोर ऑलमोस्ट 65 फैमिलीज यमन थोड़ा बहुत मदद गाव हेको तिहंज जिंदगी चेंज कर मगर इमीजिएट नीड शायद हेकान पूर गच्छित सह प्रोग्राम वनुक तान लास्ट 3 वरी पे रूज अमुक ऑब्जेक्टिव यहोय तो बहुस होप करान जे हेको यह प्रोग्राम कंटिन्यू कर बोजान वनुक तान स्पीकर्स वनान जे कर साइलेंट मगर अख easy way of expression and this is one of the programs यम के थ्रू हेको पन expression कर पन help कर पन्ने जाय अथरोट कर तो यह लकट गुजारिश मान सारनी मेंबरन तो खास कर डायरेक्टर्सन कि करो सपोर्ट करो यह प्रमोट प्रोग्राम पन्न जोनन मं तो हेको कंटिन्यू कर कि तिमन फैमिलीजन तिमन कम्युनिटी मेंबरन यम तिमन बदहाल सिचुएशन मं तत कैंपन मं रोजान तिमन हेल्थ इश्यूज तिमन हेको कह मदद कर यह सान जरफ कोशिश हे गच्छित सो यह मान विनती तुह सारनी जे तुह ति करियो पार्टिसिपेट KOS मं यह लिस्टेड प्रोग्राम फैमिली सस्टेनेंस तो बहुत होप करान हेको यम वरी कम से कम $50,000 रेज कर तो हेको तिमन मेंबरन हेल्प कर तत कम्युनिटी मेंबरन यमन जन खतर जन आखरी आश नमस्कार मारा तो अर्जु
Thank you so much, Vinodji. Thank you, Mara. Moving on, medical program, Vimarsh ji, and Sujata ji.
Hello, namaskar. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Sujata ji.
Okay. I think Vimarsh ji is also on. Unfortunately, because I'm at a computer where I cannot show my face, so I can start. Vimarsh ji, I'll go ahead and start. Namaskar, Sarni. So we will be talking about the healthcare network, which is basically consists of physicians who are Kashmiri physicians who have a platform for professional guidance and community support. It's a WhatsApp group, and currently there are about 75 members. And so the goal actually has been to increase awareness and participation within the group and to expand the membership to include eventually, possibly nurse practitioners, PAs, dentists, pharmacists, and podiatrists in the future. But currently, the main thing is there's a medical advisory group, which is a subset of the healthcare network, and they're focused on some of the goals. And they vote on, it's an informal group, and it includes, in addition to Vimarsh ji and me, there's Archana Kakruji, there's Raji Pandit, John Jiban, Shubhan Jivarku, and Anil Matu. So, next slide, please. So some of the projects that we have, the main project that this group has been doing is the medical case review. And this is in coordination with KMECT, which is in India. And this is we collaborate with them in looking at people who are in need of funding in desperate situations. And that's one of the main goals, and one of the main goals for funding, because every year, as Ramarshi will describe later, we spend a lot of money for these patients. But the other things we would like to do are mentorship initiatives. Rajiv Pandit ji is working on this. And we're also hoping to have quarterly medical webinars for the community in this upcoming year. Uparji has helped us to start this process, and we will give you more information, and also have members in the group who will be patient navigators in terms of helping families of members guide through medical care in the U.S. with having designated physicians or providers that may provide advice. Lastly, this has been a goal and a passion for all of us, is to do a medical camp in Jammu or Srinagar, but that will require a lot of time and energy. Hopefully we can do that. So just background, I'll try to be brief, but I'll just go to that. Currently, KMACT is the group that we're working with, and it's helping to coordinate these medical cases. You can read through the background later. And so the medical advisory group looks at the cases, we review them, and we recommend funding. And there's a secure portal from which the KMACT in India gives us the information, and then we provide funding, which is approved by the president of the KOA.
Thank you, Sujata ji. Yes, I'll take over. Thank you, Sujata ji. Namaskar, everyone. This is Vimal Shrena, one of the medical co-directors for KOA Healthcare Network. So I was going to briefly mention that, we coordinate with KMECT organization in India. So what KMECT does is that it gets funding requests from patients in India who are experiencing financial hardship. And what they do is that they upload it to our KOA secure portal. And then our medical advisory group, they review those cases, and based on their recommendations, our KOA executive team, it wires funds to the patients. Now, the funds don't go to those patients. It goes to the hospital and treating facilities. The money never goes to the patients directly. So this ensures that 100% of the money which is donated is used for patient care. Now, on this graph, you can see that over the years, we've increased the amount of funding which we have been able to send to India. Last year, we sent more than $80,000 overall. And next slide, we can see that, I think, yeah, next one. You're going backwards. This is not the correct slide, but I'll just briefly say that basically the donations which are going to India, they're going to the lowest socioeconomic backgrounds where patients really need it. Most of the people who are getting this money, their average income per month is like 10 to 20,000 rupees. And not just in one particular area, but like all over the country, patients are, those patients are located all over the country. And all over the age groups as well. The youngest I remember recently was an infant who was less than 1 year old. Now, the biggest challenges we have is the rising cost of treatment in India, medical treatment. And most of these are like either oncology or transplant cases. And you can see from this graph that most of the money which has gone over there is for either cancer treatment or some transplant treatment. And this is one of the challenges which we are facing, that the amount of money which we've been able to raise so far, now we need increased contribution from people. You can go to the next slide. We have received a lot of heartfelt testimonials from patients as well. And these stories, they highlight the real differences which are made from the contribution. And I would like to request like increased donations from both the community and even outside the community. It doesn't need to be a big amount. Even a small amount is going to be very helpful. Upaji, maybe we can go to the next slide.
Yeah, I think some of the slides got skipped in the
Okay,
slideshow mode.
that's okay, no problem.
Yeah.
You might have seen one of the QR codes which was on all these slides. So if you scan this QR code, you can directly go to the donation page. And as I mentioned, 100% of the money goes to the patient care directly. There's no middleman in between. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Vimarshi. Thank you, Sujata ji. And I appreciate you giving the context about the program. And my apologies for some of the slides that got skipped in the slideshow mode.
No problem.
No, that's fine, Uparji. Thank you so much for all your support. Namaskar, Sajin.
Namaskar. I request the SSC team, the program director, Smita ji, Arun ji, and Sushma ji. Thank you so much for your support driving this program.
Okay. Namaskar, Sarni, and thank you, Uparji and the executive team for giving us this opportunity. Again, I'm Sunita Kanesasan from Boston, and I'm one of the coordinators of the SAC, or Support a Child program, along with Sushma Ban from Texas and Arun Moza from New York, who unfortunately could not be here today. Can we start the first slide, please? Okay, that's not the first slide, but that's all right. The SAC program, or Support a Child program, is one of 2 educational programs run by KOA for deserving children who are still in refugee camps in Jammu, such as the Jagti camp. Let's try the next slide. Oh, good. The SAC program funds young children from kindergarten to 12th grade, and the EAP program, which you will hear about next, supports postgraduate education. These programs were established by KOA in the 1990s, but have been updated. The SAC program was brought online in 2022. As Kashmiris, we know the value and rewards of education, so it is especially meaningful to help those who cannot afford to send their children to school. Each year, the process begins by identifying students who are in need. Our partner in Jammu, we have some pictures. I don't know if it's on the next slide. Our partners in Jammu is the Sharika Foundation. And we work with Mr. Sunil Tusu, who's pictured in the red hat, and his team. Mr. Tusu begins by advertising in the Jammu papers, on the radio, and in WhatsApp groups. We have a standardized process of evaluating applications. We are transparent as possible. We ask students to submit a copy of their previous year's report card so that we make sure they're in good standing and attend school regularly. Back to the first slide you were showing, please. A donation of only $325 per year will further a child's education and put them on the path to success. Thanks to your generous donations, in 2024, we collected $138,000, and we were able to support 434 children, 231 girls and 203 boys. But there's always more need than we're able to support despite your generous donations. There were probably about 200 kids additionally we could have supported in 2024. We encourage company matching because every dollar counts. And we also appreciate outside the box approaches such as Anjana ji is doing by raising funds in our community for Exodus Day. Thank you, Anjana ji, and thank you to all our generous donors. Without you, SAC would not exist, and we appreciate your generous donations. Now I will turn it over to Sushma ji.
All right, thanks, Sunita, and namaskar everyone, and welcome Uparji and the new team. I just want to reiterate a few points about SSC. Truly, SAC or Support a Child is one of the most pragmatic and most impactful KO programs that really is a game changer for the communities who are impacted by the exodus, to gain support for the aspirations they have for better future, improve their economic standing and have the educational level similar to what got all of us here. So a few points again, why it makes sense. We have had still a lot of exodus impacted families who need help. So 325 is what makes a huge difference and they can commit to schooling. We also had COVID that took a huge toll. So a lot of families lost a father or a mother or a key member, and they haven't recovered from that since. Also, people in the camps and the valley, including many more, come with unexpected, some dire needs. So they reach out directly either to the Sharika Foundation or they go to the president and make a plea, something happened that they couldn't handle. I just want to touch on the goals, what we have. And again, working with Uparji, we want to be very precise about what our aspirations are. And our mantra is normally to help everyone, no one should be turned away. But realistically, we are aiming for 500 students. You saw the number we reached. So if we can get to 500, that will be really fantastic. We also want to collect and disperse the funds promptly. That means, before the start of the school year. And we are trying to set May end as the 2025 deadline. So all the donors, if you can start thinking about it, and again, we will have communications going out. The other thing we want to engage more frequently with our partnering team that's in Jammu, because that is kind of the key thing that makes this whole thing work. So once a month, and Sunita ji has been doing that really phenomenally, but also as needed. We also want to share the student updates, when they get certificates or there's some accolades or, it's very uplifting for the donors to see that. So we'll aim to do that at least twice a year. And lastly, we want to recognize all the top donors, especially those who have done more than 10 students, and also thank every donor. I saw earlier Vinodji from California. I mean, he was phenomenal, he and his mom. So we want to recognize people who step up and really help us. So what's needed from all of you, really, again, please generously support a child. It's only $325, less than $1 a day. And also try not to give us lesser denomination. Somebody sometimes gives 50 or 100. I know that's great. It goes to the general funds, but a child needs $325. We also encourage you to talk to your friends, your neighbors. We have had good turnout from youngsters. Many are in the tech industry who have gotten jobs. And if we can encourage them to step up, and this is again the most tangible way to make a difference in our community. And they don't just have to be KPs, your non-KP friends, whether they are, Tamilian or Telugu or Punjabis, if you're married to them or your friends, but also your American buddies, let's increase the donor base. We see that in many of the other charitable organizations. So let's step out. Let's not stay inward thinking. And again, I know Parji is very supportive of that. And lastly, apply for the employee matching. That really makes a difference. It doubles the funds. And again, we'll work with our new team and Aparji. So feel free to reach out to any of the KO directors. They are also our partners in reaching out to the community, as we talked about Anjana or Sunita and other directors. To the SOC team, which is, again, Arun Moza, who plays a phenomenal role in this, Sunita and myself, including the president directly. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Sushma ji. Thank you so much, Sunita ji. Moving to the next program, and we'll try to catch up on time here. Do we have Shivas ji?
Yes, Uparji, I'm here.
I imagine Tej and Rohini ji are not here, so I think you will have to cover.
Sure. Teji is already in India, again, for the same reason, same cause. So can we have the presentation, please?
Yeah. Let me know when you can see the screen.
Yeah, I can see it now. Okay, we can get started. So Education Assist program, it was started back in 1995 by KOA, and almost we have completed 40 years. So it has benefited more than 2,400 students till now in aspiring their dreams for higher education. Uh, to begin with, I would say, who else knows the value of education better than Kashmiri Pandits? It was only tool that stood between our extinction and our survival. We were battered, bruised, uprooted from our homeland, but here we stand with that education, with dignity and pride. So the objective of this program is to provide assistance in tuition, boarding, and lodging expenses of college-bound migrant students to pursue the professional training in various institutions of India. Can we have the next slide, please? So the program highlights the eligibility is very clean, and I think we have made it based on the point based, so it's straightforward. So students are selected on merit come poverty basis. Priority is obviously given to those who are rendered orphan or single parent child, or those having underlying health conditions in the family, especially those living in the migrant camps and having a good academics. So 2023-24 summary, so we sponsor 240 students, and out of which there were 40 students who were either orphan or single parent child, and there were 74 plus students who were residing in the migrant camps. But what you see on the right side, the pie chart, is that fascinates me and all the people in our community, is the specialization pools consist of 4% MBBS doctors, which is almost 10 doctors, and 47% engineers, which is maybe around 90 plus engineers. And out of those 10 doctors who are in this pool, are 6 are from migrant camp, Jagti migrant camp. So I think that's what we see in the value of education, and that's what promotes mainly the education in our community. So most of them, come from a low income background, but one thing which is very common in these kids is their outlook to pursue their higher education and help the family. So as I said, this year we sponsored 240 plus students. We're aiming for more. Let's go to the next slide. So this is our 5-year progression in terms of how many kids we have sponsored, how many money we have raised. We raised around 145,000 in 2023-2024, and 350,000 INR. This is the next year we are even planning for more students, 250 students, and more donations. So can we go to the next slide? 2025 goals. We have raised the donation amount to 625 per beneficiary. So it was revised 2 years back based on the study on the college fee and also the inflation in schools in India. So our target or goal this year is to sponsor 250 plus students. The schedule is noted down here. So we'll try to reach out our donors by every year in the month of May and June. We do advertise similar to SAC in India and initiate the process in August. During that time, the program is like started because we get the admissions from the school, and then also by around September, we start the application process. So the requirements, obviously, we need some portal updates. It's not right now catching up with the speed. So we are working with Talentso. Upaji already talked to Talentso, and he is in touch with our board members to how to improve overall the portal. Timely donations, which is very important. I would request my membership here to donate generously. They have helped all those years to aspire the education for our community kids. So please donate timely. So it's $625 per year, should not be more for people who are already here. So I request again for timely donation. And I think we also partner with Sharika Foundations back in Jammu. We do need a dedicated person who can support us at Sharika Foundation. So we're planning to have a dedicated person who goes generally door to door to check the documents and to make sure that the hard-earned money of our donors goes to the right pocket. So I think the checks are generally given to the students directly. So and they use it for the tuition fee. So again, there's a barcode on the right side which you can scan to pay it online. You can also visit the KOA site, and you can choose the category as an EAP program. Next. Yeah, I think that's all from my side. So again, I request my community members to come forward and help this cause as they have been doing. That's all. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, Yashji, and thank you to Rohini ji and Teji for driving this program. Awesome. So I think that's a wrap on the program segment. I know we are a little over 90 minutes into the session, but we have some very exciting conversations upcoming. We have some special guests. First segment is about celebrating entrepreneurship, and we have a founder couple here. Can I request Adviti and Rohita to turn on their cameras, and let me put you guys on the spotlight. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us for today's event. And it's a quick, candid conversation. Would love to know about your backgrounds, what respective initiatives you have embarked on, and know a little bit more about your journey. So let's first start with you, Addy. Can you tell a little bit about yourself, about your initiative, and give us some perspective? Especially, we're super excited to learn about your journey with Y Combinator, and tell us a bit about Y Combinator as well.
Sure. First of all, it's a pleasure to be here. So I'm Advitya Churungu. I go by Addy. It's easier to go by Addy in North America. I'm the founder CEO of a company called Javelin Robotics. So I'm not sure if you guys are familiar, but like everything in North America, like this cup over here, this laptop that we're talking on, moves on a truck. It gets delivered to warehouses on a truck. But the number of people that transport these goods are in a short. They're short. So what we did, we started Javelin with a vision to transform how goods are transported across US and Canada through autonomous trucking. Over the years, this vision has somewhat evolved as we have uncovered operational challenges with our customers, and today we provide AI solutions to our customers to solve those particular challenges. Uparji, you wanted me to talk about YC as well?
Yes, I'm sure there are a lot of young founders who would love to learn from your journey. So if you can touch upon that, that'll be great.
Sure. So YC is essentially like the Harvard of startups. It's called Y Combinator. Companies like Airbnb, I'm assuming most people might have used an Airbnb. Companies like Airbnb, Stripe, DoorDash, they all came out of YC. So for us, we were part of the Winter 21 batch in YC, and it was a phenomenal experience. We raised capital, we learned how to think big, we learned how to iterate and embrace customer feedback. But getting into YC was not very straightforward for me and my co-founder. We applied twice. The first time we didn't get in, and we had spent weeks preparing for it. There's an application video that you need to share with the application, and I think I personally took 20 takes of that. And despite that, we didn't get in. And it was very obvious actually in hindsight, because we had no customers at that time. We didn't have much tech. We went heads down 6 months. And then in 6 months, we had our vehicle drive between Toronto and Detroit without disengagement. So that's close to 250 miles without any disengagements. We had several major contracts signed with customers. And we made our application video sitting in the back of our car at 11 p.m. in the night in the middle of nowhere at a truck stop, making a video like this for YC and submitting that. And surprisingly, that's the video that got us in. And it's been a joyful experience so far to go through YC. And you truly learn a lot.
That's awesome, Eddie. As you're talking to this, I'm just being selfish here. How can our community benefit from your experience? Can we sort of pool some of the experienced folks who have gone through this journey and make some sort of a incubator or a mentorship program right within our community to support our young entrepreneurs? And obviously you can participate, and we can have even some seniors from our community join the program. So any thoughts on that?
Yeah, definitely. I think going through YC, we learn certain key points, right? Like you need to solve real urgent problems for customers. You need to talk to customers, and you need to execute with urgency. So we learn quite a bunch, and I'm pretty sure in our Kashmiri community we have lots of executives in the Bay Area and across the US as such. So we should definitely promote entrepreneurship within our community, promote our young folks to go out there and start companies and create big unicorns for our community and for others in the world as well. So I'm totally happy. We can share my coordinates after this chat, and I'm more than happy to, give my suggestions, mentor anyone, and of course build this advisory that we're talking about with the support of other members.
Excellent. That is super exciting, and your journey is really inspiring as well. Awesome. So switching gears here, the real boss at house, Rohita. Can you tell a little bit about your background and your entrepreneurship journey?
Yeah, absolutely. So first
Yeah,
of
I
all,
think she would need the
namaskar.
next slide. Yeah.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, namaskar to everyone. It's really exciting to be a part of this panel today. So for me, I think I spent a good part of the last decade like focused on, helping companies like Adobe, T-Mobile, Oracle, and more, establish best practices and seeking customer feedback. And what I experienced on that journey was that it usually takes like months to execute and costs millions of dollars. So to solve this whole problem, like I built Dune, and every business thrives on collecting feedback and then acting on that feedback and making improvements to their business. So Dune is the easiest way to collect feedback from your customers. So we are building AI agents that conduct probing interviews over video and voice and analyzes those conversations and basically provides you with hidden insights and trends that you can then share easily with your team, and then you can act upon it. So the exciting part is that we are live with some startups and enterprises. So it's been a really good journey because they have saved like more than 300 plus hours in just over 3 months. So it is really exciting. And the fact that Uparji, we are going to be collaborating with you to get feedback on KOA processes. So everybody in this community will have the opportunity to take the first AI-led interview for feedback on KOA. And yeah, I think that is the next slide as well, right?
Yeah, and I'll briefly touch upon, when we were going through this and we were having conversation, and then it just was natural to realize that, hey, we have not sort of formally engaged our community for a feedback. So why don't we leverage Tune for a AI-led interview-based feedback? And Rohita was gracious enough, and it took her like 5 minutes to sort of put together the themes and generate basically the interview. So here is the QR code and here is the link. It will be active for the next 7 days. And yeah, would encourage everybody to take some time and interact and even provide some product feedback to Rohita. And I would also suggest and recommend people, if you find it relevant in some other context as well, don't shy away from reaching out to Rohita. So at this point in time, she's looking forward to get more feedback and more engagement within the community from this particular feedback perspective, but also broadly. Anything else you want to highlight, Rohita?
So I just want to just say one thing that like we have a lot of potential as a community, but many a times we don't really know where we are lacking. And this Dune interview is going to be the chance for everybody to provide their suggestions and whatever thoughts they have, because it will all be heard and it will be looked at. So I encourage everybody to take this, this quick interview. It's just like 5 to 10 minutes.
And we'll be really happy to see and act on your suggestions. So just my 2 cents there. And obviously feel free to reach out to me. My email ID and everything is also going to be shared, and I think it's already there in the slide before this. So happy to chat with anybody who's interested to talk more on this.
Awesome. And lastly, why Dune?
Yes, that's a good question. So Dune is walnut in Kashmiri and the symbol of intelligence and wisdom. So I'm building an artificial intelligence company. So it just felt very apt to call it Dune.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you both, Rohita and Ari. Wish you a ton of success and looking forward
you.
to leverage from your experiences for the broader community. Thank you.
Pleasure is ours.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, so let me move to the next segment here. We have another very special guest from our community. Do we have Rahul Bhatt here?
Yes, I'm here.
So let me put you on the spotlight. And do we have Harsh as well? I can see Harsh. Let me. Yes, Harsh, you need to turn on your camera. Yes. Okay, perfect. I think you're there now. Awesome. So this is a super exciting project that I got to know recently about, and I was so excited, when I heard the initiative first time, and especially Rahul, when you told me about your background, about how you sort of pivoted in your professional life to basically embark on this movie making journey, and the topic is so close to my heart, and I'm sure many of the community members will agree. So why don't you kick us off here and give us a little bit background about yourself, Rahul, where you're based out of, and how you pivoted in your professional career to embark on this movie making journey.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Parji. Namaskar, dear respected community members. Thank you for having me here today. So my name is Rahul Bhatt, and I'm a filmmaker based out of Princeton, New Jersey. But I was born in Tulamula, Kashmir. And like Uparji was mentioning, so I come from a corporate background and used to work with Deloitte Consulting, New York, for 10 years before venturing into filmmaking. So like Harsh is my writer and director. He's my creative partner. So what we are going to show you today is actually a very heartfelt project which we are working on for the past 3 years. So if you can go to the poster, Uparji. So the project is called Such is Life. And such is actually truth. Such is actually the name of our one of the protagonists in the project, Sachin. So this is a Kashmiri Pandit true story. It's a healthcare miracle. So what you see on the screen is our pre-production poster. It's a true story which my team and I have been working on. And as Kashmiri Pandits ourselves, me and my wife, Romila Saraf, we both are producing this project. It is not just a professional project. It's a very personal story to us because it is a story of our own Kashmiri Pandit family. They are called Munshi families, Munshi family, and many of you may already know about them. So they are based out of Albany, upstate New York. And now we have taken this opportunity to sh share their journey with the world. So
So
maybe.
Rahul, I was going to do a quiz to the audience, but you gave too many clues.
Oh,
But I'm just joking. But yeah, I think many of our members here may have already figured out the family we're talking about. But amazing story, very inspiring story. In fact, at KOA, we recognized and celebrated their journey. Sachin, Dr. Rupinder Munshi, Daisy ji. I mean, they're role models in our community. And you picking up this topic, I mean, it's phenomenal. It's the story is going to inspire the audiences globally. So thank you for doing that.
Absolutely. So we do have a picture for those who do not know them. If you go to the next slide. So basically, very high level, like I was exploring stories from our own community for past several years, and this idea started in COVID 2020. And I was having a conversation with Sachin, who's my friend, and he told me that when he was 3 years old, he got diagnosed with Duchenne muscular dystrophy (DMD), something very similar to what Stephen Hawking had, although Stephen Hawking had ALS, but Sachin is our own version of Stephen Hawking's. You may not know, but what you see in the center, in spite of having such a disease, um, Daisy ji, Sachin's mother, and Upender ji, they fought against death every single day for the past 35 years to keep Sachin alive. And today, Sachin has a PhD in mathematics. So that's why I feel very, very, connected, very, very proud to be telling their story. And it is a story about our own community, but the message is universal. Every parent is going to relate with this. Every caregiver will relate with this project. Every brother and sister will connect with Sachin and Sumit. It is like our own pursuit of happiness. So this film is all about Kashmiri Pandit's resilience, human spirit, and the power of education in the toughest of circumstances. So Harsh, I don't know if you want to join
Thank you.
and
Yeah, no, this is very exciting. I'm already waiting for this movie to get released and watch it on the big screen. Yeah, let's give Harsh opportunity to introduce himself and give us a little bit background about your journey.
Thank you so much, Rupaji. I think first of all, for giving us the opportunity to speak about our film. I think if I may say that this film has been very close to our heart. Past 3 years, me and Rahul have been talking about this film day and night, um, and we can't wait for people to see it. Now, the very first thing when I heard about this story, I asked Rahul if we can do this as a world cinema instead of an Indian film, because a story like this uh, comes once in a decade or maybe once in a lifetime, and it has to reach masses. And that's where and we've been seeing a lot of films like these doing well in Academy Awards, like Minari, Past Lives. So we thought that we need to create something for world cinema, and that was our approach. Onto you, Rahul.
yeah. Absolutely. So, what is in it for all of us? This movie will be shot in New Jersey. So, our New Jersey director um, will be reaching out to you. And so, basically, this movie is all about our community. I want to make sure our community is represented on the world map when it comes to films, when it comes to true stories. So, using Uparji and KO as a platform, we'll be sharing a Google form where all of you can join us. This project is not made yet. We have won Best Script awards. We have won a couple of other awards as well. But this is the beginning of our journey in 2025. We are also going to shoot in Kashmir, in Jammu, in New Delhi. So, like I said, please come and just join us in multiple capacities. And later, I want to tell more and more stories from our own community and involve our youth and adults. Anyone who wants to be a filmmaker, please connect with Harsh and me. And I think that is the message.
So I have a burning question. Do you have the star cast already finalized? I mean, or it's TBD, or
So
you're
yeah,
not disclosing it yet?
because we are still in agreement discussions, but all of you will be very, very pleased to know the star cast of this
Okay.
project. They are amazing actors, and I think in coming few months we'll be announcing it.
So
Uh,
I'm imagining some known stars from our Bollywood.
yes,
Amazing, amazing,
absolutely.
amazing. And to everybody, like Rahul was saying, I mean, we're still in pre-production, and if anybody in the community wants to join the project, they're welcoming, and they are open to have executive producers on the movie. And if there's any interest for anybody to join as an executive producer, and obviously they'll get credits and part of the project, and there is a interest form that we'll be sharing. I think it's here in case anybody wants to use this QR code. And Rahul and Harsh would be more than happy to have a separate conversation with you.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you so much again, and thanks for being patiently waiting towards the later part of this segment. And one sort of trick question for you, Rahul. Tushka, KOA member chukta?
Yes, yes. I am a proud KOA member. Yes, yes. Both me and
Awesome, awesome. Sorry to put you on spot. I had to do that. Okay, thank you so much. I think that's a wrap from all of the guests' perspective. There are a couple of quick announcements that I will be making here real shortly. Let me move you from the spotlight. Yes, I think we're good. So yeah, community recognition. I mean, when I came to know about this particular accomplishment within our community, I was super excited to learn about it. So there's a 15-year-old local boy in Bay Area. His name is Vivan, son of Meghna Dar and Shreyans Mehta. They're based out of California. He has become the world #1 boys under 15 player in the world. So winning, he recently won the Squash British Junior Open, and only the second American boy champion ever in the history from United States. So it's a phenomenal feat. I know Meghna ji, she has been in India. She's probably in the airplane traveling back to US. I've been in touch with her. They're super excited, and we as an entire community are super proud of Vivan's accomplishment, and we can't wait to see how he rules the squash as he grows up. So thank you so much for sharing your accomplishment with us. Quickly, there is a Kumbh Mela happening. This particular Kumbh Mela after 144 years, and there are a couple of initiatives that I want to highlight. And again, there is an opportunity for anybody to participate in that. So there is a KP Shiver in Kumbh Mela, and there are a bunch of KP volunteers who are at this point in time on the ground there trying to put together shiver, and there are a bunch of things they plan to do for the community, including free langars, accommodations, cultural showcase where they want to use this as a way to share our community's journey through the Exodus and beyond as part of that shiver. And there are other ways to contribute towards the key infrastructure and all. And if anybody wants to get associated, feel free to. There's a QR code. You can donate towards that, and those funds would be distributed to those costs attributed for this shiver. And there is also a message from our friends at Koshurag. They have been doing amazing stuff, promoting music, and the government of Uttar Pradesh has actually invited them to perform at Kumbh Mela. So here are some of the details about their event happening at the Kumbh Mela. And lastly, a couple of updates on the KOA calendar. This is work in progress. This time, what we are doing is engaging the membership to submit their photos from Kashmir, which we are going to curate and shortlist the best submissions to be included in the upcoming KOA calendar. And here is the QR code, and we'll also share it as a follow-up link. We are open to sponsorships. We will share the details around sponsorships pretty soon. So something to watch out for, but sponsorships are welcome, and you will be given credits in the calendar. And so there has been an increasing awareness about factoring US time zones for our tithis and festivals. So we are going to make it a point to factor that into this calendar. And we have done some awareness sessions in the past. We will schedule something. So watch out for your inboxes to receive more communication on that. And we started creating US-based, time zone-based Gen 3s. I mean, this project has been in there for a couple of years. just trying to help bring it to more masses within US. There's always a struggle. Navarecho asan pewan India pet jantri asan, but this time we are trying to pre-order it and pre-order it for your particular time zone. So this link is already live on the youth marketplace. So you can pick the relevant time zone and you can pre-order. This is available for purchase and you can pre-order. The deadline is by February 15th because we want to have it printed and delivered to you in time before Navre. So that's it. Thank you so much. I know we've been on it almost 2 hours. Thank you so much for everybody patiently hanging on. With that, we conclude our today's event. However, if anybody wants to hang out, we can open it up to the attendees, but feel free to drop off. I will stop sharing and I will stop recording. Thank you so much.